Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video we're going to be continuing on with the Corvette. In the last video we did leave off, what were we doing? We were doing I think we only got to the water pump, got the radiator out and all that, and I still had the balancer on. Still got to get the Optispark off. So without further ado, we have already started on the car. Let me show you guys what I've done already. I did get started taking off the balancer, and I thought I was gonna have to go and buy that tool from AutoZone, but I found a trick to do. I need 2 sockets. So here you have it. You're gonna need 2 sockets of 5/8 with 2 wrenches. So the one that you're gonna do for the middle, I got an extension to where it'll go under this bar. That way when I turn the other one on the 3 bolts that you're taking off, the whole balancer won't like spin, and then the bolt won't even come off. So the other one was holding it against this main metal bar here while I was torquing the other ones out, and it worked perfectly fine. Didn't damage anything. So now, as you see there, the balancer's out. So what I'm gonna do next is try to get that out of there. That way we can get clearance to the Optispark. And once we get to the Optispark, we are gonna have to label these wires here. I was gonna name them by cylinders, but we're just gonna go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4. That way, when we come in with the new Optispark, we won't get any confused, and we know what wires we're putting in where. So let me go ahead and take that balancer out of there. You could already see there all that nasty grime that's already in there. So we're gonna go ahead and get that out of there, and we'll start making our way into the Optispark. Alright, so I did have trouble trying to get that balancer out. What I am gonna do is, you got 3 bolts on this Optispark. You got one here, then you got one all the way down here, which is the reason why you had to remove that in order to get the Optispark out. And you got that one there. So I already went ahead and loosened them up. So I'm gonna just take them out by hand. So all 3 bolts are out. And as I was saying, make sure to label each cord. So I got this side out. Now we're gonna go ahead and wiggle this out a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera down. It's kind of hard to do it. So here it is, guys. This is the Optispark. Just came out of the Corvette, and I know I've seen a lot of people on YouTube, they open this up and to see the inside and everything that's in there, but don't really feel the need to do that. I'm pretty sure it was the Optispark, and as you could already see there, you already got stuff leaking out of it, which isn't supposed to. But there you go. Look how dirty that is. You got oil all in there. Hopefully we got more clearance now to get the balancer off. But as you see there, I numbered all my cables, and it's gonna be way easier once I'm going back in with things. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to get that balancer out. That way could have enough room to get everything cleaned up. So what I started off doing, start getting everything cleaned up, was first things first, I grabbed this here. That way I could start getting all that grease and grime built up all around the motor and under it. Just scraping everything off and throwing it out. But just look at how much better it already looks. I started scraping, basically just scraping it out this way, because everything goes out from there, and there's an opening, but there's still grease all around there. It's kind of hard to get to the rest of that, but I did go through all up in there and got most of the chunks out. Maybe now I could throw the degreaser on there and it'll wipe off way better. But I even got part of that frame right there, just there and there. Scraped everything off over here. But let me go ahead and show y'all the bottom and show y'all all the grease that came out check that out, guys. So we got the balancer finally out, and I did struggle a lot to try to get it out just because it would catch on to this here. So the reason I was struggling was because I found out that if you have one of these facing straight down and you're trying to pull the balancer out, it's going to be hard to, and you're not going to be able to because it's going to be catching on to this here. Once you pull out, the bottom will be catching on to this. So what I had to do was put the balancer back on, spin this to where there's two facing down like that and one facing up. That way, whenever you bring it out and then you gotta tilt it in towards the Optispark, you would be able to pull out, just wiggle forward and backwards, and you'll be able to pull out just fine. But that's the reason why I was struggling at first to take it out and I wasn't able to, because this here was facing down. So you would have to have it facing like this and then the other one up exactly the way you see there in order to take that balancer out. So now that we have that out, I have more clearance to start cleaning out more stuff down there. As you see, all that grime, and don't really know how I'm gonna do that yet, but I will find a way. And once I get all that cleaned up, I'll start cleaning up all this here. I already got most of it cleaned up, but use a little bit of the greaser. Still got more in there that I would like to get out, but it's all a process. And I start moving into all this over here, start getting all that detailed and cleaned up. Maybe paint everything, put it all back to looking nice. Try to get it as close as possible to the way it looks. Alright guys, so we ended up getting a hold finally of a vacuum, and I decided to just go ahead and start vacuuming all the interior. The interior was pretty bad. My only next step for the interior is getting all this cleaned up. I want to go get it washed, all this carpet. But the most dirtiness was in the back of the seats. We got all that vacuum. Don't know if you could see there, but all of this was done. I want to go get everything shampooed. I did vacuum all in here, all in the center console also. And I did already get to vacuum the motor and everything inside there. And I just went with it with the first coat of the spray paint. And what I already did was I redid all this inside, all the fender wells, gloss black, as you see. Went with it, some of it in there. I did all the inside. So something real quick that I want to show you guys. I opened the cap to this coolant, and it was pretty hard to get off, just because I guess they haven't had coolant changed in so long. And I decided to look inside and see how it all looked in there, and to see if everything was flush, right? But just look at this. Look how thick and grimy all that coolant is. Almost, that's just all bad right there. And that's all it was all running through the car, through the engine. So that's not good at all. It's like a rusty, I'm guessing over time it rusted and all. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to find something I could pour in there. That way it could flush all that dirtiness out. And I'm gonna have to put something at the... Alright guys, so we just got back from the store, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys everything that I did purchase for the two cars. I did go ahead and get all the fluids and everything that I needed. So if you could just look here. First thing I'm gonna show you guys is the Optispark. I did tell you guys that it did come in, And I'm gonna go ahead and show you what exactly I was talking about the wiring harness and the adjustments that I had to do. So it comes with instructions here, and here's the Optispark. This is the old wiring harness right here, and as you could see, the difference was right in there. If you see that little tooth that's right on top, a plastic tooth that goes connected with this, well, there's actually, as you see, there's only one in there, and there was actually two in this one. So what I had to do was take the other one. So as you can see there, there's still a little bitty piece in there, but it doesn't matter because I already test fitted it, and it's enough clearance to connect. So what I had to do was, with a knife, cut through that, try to take as much of that plastic off that I could, and I left that one just because on the regular one it did come with that. And as far as the Opti, this is how the new one looks. It came with red on the outline, and I did match it up to the other one, and everything matches up perfectly well. I got high hopes for this Optispark. I did read a lot of positive feedback, so hopefully everything works good. But there goes the new Opti. And the other one, I don't know if you guys could remember, but this plug here was actually broken on the other one, so there goes that one. And I also went ahead and purchased a new toolbox just because I didn't have some of the sockets that it was asking for. And we have here the balancer that we took out. I am gonna get that cleaned up. You got the bolts for the water pump. Also got to clean the water pump up and try to get everything out before I put everything back in. It is gonna get dirty again because in order to do the flush properly, we do have to have everything on and flush it. Here goes the drain plug that was on the radiator, and we got the oil. Mustang takes 10 quarts of oil, which is ridiculous, but it's all good. I mean, I do go with the extended performance oil on that one, 530, and it's, as you can see, the Corvette also takes the same thing, 5W30 Mobile 1. So for the Mustang, I got the extended performance Mobile 1. It's two of them actually. And for the Corvette, I got extended performance Mobile 1 for high miles. And it's both of them are full synthetic. That's the only thing I could go with on these cars. I got a Motorcraft filter for the Mustang, and I know you guys usually go with AC Delco, but I went ahead and grabbed this one for the Vet for now. It's not really going to cause much of a difference. I got the distilled water. I asked what coolant was recommended to go with the Corvette, and AutoZone gave me this one here. They did recommend using, since I'm a flush it, they didn't recommend doing the 50-50. They told me to get the what's it called, the Dex Cool, which is full coolant. And once I get everything done and I'm ready to throw the coolant in, he said throw half of this on there, throw half of this, the distilled water. Make sure it's distilled water, not regular water. And alright guys, so we just got done putting the Optispark in the car, and everything went well. Pretty simple, straightforward. Only problem that I did run into was this hose here. So when I took off this Optispark, this is the original one, and I'm guessing this is the one that came from factory, just because going by the sticker here, it does say GM. So other than that, this is the problem that I ran into here. So these are the vent hoses on the Optispark, and basically this hose here is supposed to connect with this one here, and it comes into a two hose, and the hose runs to the manifold, which gets air for the Optispark from the manifold coming in through the throttle body. So the line that I did find was this one here, and I did connect it. So currently I only have this one here connected to the manifold. I couldn't find a line that goes connected to this one, and that's what I'm trying to find out. What line do I need, or do I even need a line in order to run the car and all that? Just because the car was running when I brought it here, and I doubt it had a line, because when I took it out it didn't have anything on. So it did have this. The only thing that was connected was this here, and nothing else was connected. That hose that I have on, it was just basically it had a stick inside of it, and it wasn't even being used at all. There wasn't no cause for it. And I finally figured out, doing some little research, that line actually goes to the Optispark, and then the other end goes to the manifold. But I already ran this line, which was the line that came with the new Optispark that I modified, connected it here, ran it through the bottom of these lines, and as you see there, the Optispark is in. I'll go ahead and get some light on there for y'all, that way y'all can see a little bit better. So there goes the Optispark. I got that line connected there. Then you got your other line that I took off from the other Optispark that goes to your, I believe it is your control module there. And as I mentioned later in the other video, I did number all of the coil lines 1 through 4 going down. So that was pretty easy going back with that. Didn't struggle trying to figure out. But that is going to be a wrap for this video, guys. Slowly taking this car step by step, not rushing it. This is, I guess, part 2. Next video will be the part 3. Hopefully finishing up everything. I'm not getting the car started just because I still have to get that pulley. And after the pulley, we'll be able to put on the belt back on. And after that, we'll do all the coolant and all that. But without further ado, that's going to be a wrap for today's video, guys. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I know I got a couple videos already that hit over 1K. If I could get some of you guys, or most of you guys that's watching, to hit that subscription, I would highly appreciate it. I know a lot of people don't have a YouTube account, but man, if you can make one, hit that subscribe button, help out the channel. Hit that like button and make sure to keep commenting. I do read the comments, and some of those comments really did help me out on this build. I'm still in process. If I could get more guys to comment, let me know about this car. Just got this car, so I'm not really too familiar with a lot of things on it, but anything helps. But like I said, guys, keep supporting the channel, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video.